This is Danny, and this is Destiny. The gameplay you're about to watch is a control map. On the map Blind Watch, I will be using the Hopscotch Pilgrim, Invective, and the Zombie Apocalypse WF-47, which is from Gen 1. It's kind of nice weapon. It used to be, actually this was my first legendary weapon drop, the Zombie Apocalypse. I'm not going to delete it because of that. We got the bad spawns, but that's okay. I'm going to be using the Titan Defender subclass with a loadout that's the, I call it the Epic Mildo loadout. It's from Friday's video where I go into detail about what's so great about this loadout. Now usually I'll have a sniper rifle and I'll check that slanted roof to make sure nobody's going to jump up there and try to get long range positioning. And if somebody jumps up there and I have a sniper rifle, they usually die. But as you can see, I've got a shotgun, the Invective, which is part of the Epic Mildo loadout, an integral part of the Epic Mildo loadout, because I'm running a Defender bubble shield and the ACTO feedback fence. Look, my team has taken Zone Charlie. We flipped spawns. So my team knows what they're doing, and it looks like the enemy team does not know what they're doing. This should be a fun match. With this loadout, since I do have a shotgun and I do have a shield, instead of being on that slanted roof with long-range positioning or down at the bottom with long-range positioning with the sniper, I'll be more up close and in people's faces with this type of action, which is better. Take out that sniper who's hanging out waiting for his teammate. That's a good tactic. Hang out way in the back, wait for your teammate to open the door, and snipe people. You get a pretty good line of sight from that guy I killed way down there. Anyway, pop the bubble. Things you don't expect when somebody pops a bubble. They're not going to hop out of their bubble with a Hopscotch Pilgrim. But as you can see, my bubble goes out of sight to the right. And that guy aiming down sights, he's not going to know where I am. And when I go over to the right, he's not going to know what my plan is. He didn't know I was going to come back out of the bubble and all that stuff. And here's an example of me not knowing what to do with the shotgun. That suck. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to not really talk too much about the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay is going to speak for itself. But about one of my theories regarding the Taken King, the upcoming super duper uber DLC that's coming out September 15th, I believe. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it to come out. But I have a theory regarding the Taken King as an enemy and this new enemy force that Guardians are supposed to be taking out. But first and foremost, let's talk about the Taken King, Oryx. Oryx is the Taken King. He is the father of Crota. You may remember Crota. He's kind of a big deal, or he was at least until you killed him in the Crota raid. Crota's End. Spoiler alert. The spoiler is in the name, Crota's End. Anyway, I'm going to read something from the website, Oryx, the Taken King. Some scholars say that it was the vile children of Oryx that first crawled from the ashes post-apocalypse. His brood grew quietly. Maybe it's brood, but I think it's brood. But quickly enough, spawning armies of hive loyal to their king deep within the caverns and shadows of our worlds. Among them was Crota, the god knight, whose offspring poisoned our moon. Crota and his army would have infected the earth were it not for the efforts of Eris Morn and the guardians who heeded her warnings. Now Crota is dead, body and soul extinguished by your hand. Okay, so that's a good lead-in. Oryx, armed with the dark power beyond anything we've yet to face, is coming to claim his revenge, armed with a dark power. Now, I've seen some of the previews. You guys have seen the previews, the vidoc that they produced. The new enemy is essentially the enemy that we've already faced, except they're taken. You may have seen, this is a spoiler, Bungie has released information about the first story mission. Basically, you get a distress call from Phobos, which is a moon that orbits Mars, and you're supposed to go help out the Cabal. The Cabal! The Cabal are running from Oryx. Spoiler alert. This dark power beyond anything we've yet to face that Oryx possesses is what allows him to capture the Cabal and corrupt them so that they can do his will. His whatever he tells them to do, they're going to do. They have no ability to resist. They have no control over their self. They're just part of his army. And that's the end of it. The Cabal. I'm talking Scions and those big guys and bunch, you've seen the Cabal. You've played against them. Now they're fighting for Oryx and the Hive, and they're coming for you. And it got me to thinking, if Oryx has the power to corrupt the Cabal and other enemies and force them to join his armies, why can't he do the same for humans? Why can't he do the same for Guardians? Now I know you're thinking, the Guardians are born of the light and they can't be corrupted. And I'll refer you to the story of Dredgen Yor. You may have heard of him, you may not have heard of him. If you haven't heard of him, I suggest you go check out some of Sir Wallen's videos and some of Terra Mantis videos. They do a lot of Destiny lore, but basically, Dredgen Yor was the guy who pretty much owned Thorn. That was his weapon. And if you read up on the Thorn Grimoire card and some of the other things that are related to that, you'll get a good background story. But I recommend you just go visit Sir Wallen and Terra Mantis, because those guys make awesome lore videos, and it'll help you to understand what I'm talking about. If they can be corrupted, why can't we? So that leads me to my next question. If Oryx is corrupting humans and other Guardians to join in their army, are we going to have to fight them? Are we going to be forced to kill them? There are so many things that can come of this. What about the raid? There's supposed to be a raid for the Taken King. If one of the people on your 6-man fire team falls, does he become taken? Maybe there's a raid mechanic where randomly 2 or 3 of people on your raid team suddenly become taken and uncontrollable by the human that's actually trying to control their character. All of a sudden they just get this AI and they're fighting you with their weapons. Switch to Null Ambion real quick while you have the chance before you get taken. That way you don't kill your enemies. You won't be that very much effective. But imagine that. Imagine, if you will, Oryx decides he wants to go invade, full-scale invasion of the tower. And during this time, he kills or maims all kinds of different vendors and captures some people. Captures the Speaker, or Eris Morn, or Akora Ray, or Lord Shanks. Can you imagine that? You're running a mission. You come face to face with Master Rahul, and he's taken. And you have to make the decision. Are you going to kill him, or are you going to try to save him? I'm going to kill him. But, I didn't get my Gallahorn from him. The bastard. But it brings up some serious questions. Serious questions about what you're going to do when you're faced with the enemy that is your friend, that used to be an ally. Now, I like to relate everything to Star Wars, because I like Star Wars so much. But in the Star Wars universe, we'll talk about just the original trilogy, which in my opinion is the only trilogy. You start off with a kind of a rebellion, have to destroy the Death Star, everybody lives happily ever after, and you get medals, right? That's how that movie starts. You go on to The Empire Strikes Back, and it's in the name. The Empire Strikes Back, and they strike back pretty hard, and it is a dark time for the rebellion. Very dark. Afterwards, the rebellion recovers, and you have an end finished product where everybody's happy. Well, up until now, with the Force Awakens coming out, who knows what's going to happen. But it follows the pattern of everything's cool, there's a major catastrophe, and everybody's in the dumps, and everybody recovers, and there's redemption. Redemption. I'm talking about Lord Vader. Lord Vader went to the dark side. He was corrupted. He was evil. But at the end, he wasn't. He was saved. And I'm wondering, is this what Destiny's going to go for? But the folks at Bungie, is this the kind of story model they're going for? Because I'm telling you what, aside from this whole epic human collapse, ever since Peter Dinklage woke us up and said, hey, we were born of the light and we're now Guardians, things have been looking pretty rosy. I mean, we've been running stories and strikes and raids, going to the Prison of Elders, running around in the Crucible, and just kind of destroying everything, melting bosses with our Gallahorns. Well, so over the last 4 or 5 days, I've been melting bosses with my Gallahorn. Haven't had it the 11 months prior to that, or 10 months. But you know what I'm talking about. Everything has been going great. There's been advancement by your character throughout the Destiny universe. It's about time for some kind of strife, some kind of struggle. a whole mess of obstacles. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm thinking this Taken King, this Oryx feller, he's going to make some huge moves, and we're going to lose some people. Maybe not Master Raul, but hopefully. Anyway, we're getting to the end of the video. 3.56 KD ratio. This is the Epic Mildo Titans Defender subclass build with the ACDO feedback fence. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you can like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Adios.